The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Let's go to Sam in Irvine, California. Hey, Sam, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
I'm having a great day. Thank you very much. I want to preface by saying that I'm so grateful to you and TFNN for you to assemble such a great people, such a team to help the small investors like myself.
Well, we appreciate you growling and prowling out here with us, Sam. Thank you so much.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 10 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone's having a great day, safe day. It's a TGIF, folks. Let's make it a great one. Let's see what we got here. This quote is by James Gardner. Believe in yourself and everything you can be. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We have the Dow Industrials up 20, NASDAQ up 18, S&P's up 2.5, gold contract down $5.10, trading at $1,199 an ounce. Silver down 12 cents, that's $17.02 an ounce. Platinum off 13 at $1,141 an ounce. Oil, they're smoking oil. This is really interesting watching this oil market right now. They've been taking oil down the last hour and a half. Oil right now is down $3, folks, at $48.31 a barrel. A huge move. Bonds, you get the 10-year up 14 ticks at 128.21. 30-year up 2 full points at 164.12. And King Dollar down 147 ticks, trading out at 97.53. The Euro's up 19 at 109, and the yen is trading at 119.08. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world. Now, let's go over to the world of oil first, okay? And watch how this baby is trading out right here. Okay, so we bring this contract up, and there she is. Okay, so CLK5. Put this on a daily basis and see what we have happening here. So what you're seeing is this. Yesterday, oil gets up to 52.48. Right now, we're at 48.46, and I'm not quite sure what is really driving this thing, but bottom line is that this has come down the last, last 20 minutes in an incredible way, basically getting taken apart. Now, what's intriguing here is this, is that when you actually look at what we're doing, okay. We're backing down with 334,000 contracts. Yeah, see, this is just a backing down with light volume. This is going to be interesting. This looks like it's going to be setting up for a buy. So what you have is this. Yesterday, we go up, and we go up with 515,000 contracts. Thus far, we've done about 330. What you can expect is that, it's going to try to get into the highs of the lows, which is 47.48, which is another buck down. We'll see whether it can crack that. That's 386,000 at that level. If we go over to the XLE and take a look at that correlation inside oil versus the large integrated oils, the XLE can't get out of its way. XLE right now is at 76.45, and we'll see how we back down against the sign of strength that it did have on the 18th. Now, what would be really cool is this. If you can back down, we're backing down with dramatically lighter volume, by the way, on the XLE. If you can back into that level, meaning the 74 level, 74 to be exact, with light volume, and simultaneously, let's go over to ExxonMobil, because ExxonMobil is the largest weighting structure inside the XLE, but what you also have there is that this is a very weak stock. If, in fact, the ExxonMobil could line up and hold that low out there that it established on the 13th, then you'd have some action. It looks to me that ExxonMobil is going to fail, though. So ExxonMobil right now is at the bottom of her range. We're at that. Today we're doing the 6 million shares, which is light volume, by the way. That's on the daily. But when you flip this to the weekly, what you're going to see is that ExxonMobil has been pounding on the lower swing point, and you're pounding on that baby with some juice. We're going to do about 65 million shares versus 72 million shares at that low. So the way that is set up, bottom line is that that is saying you can get into a lower price. Let me pull, I believe we got the charts up there. Let me just see something here. I can do this one more time, just in case you don't. There we go. Okay, so there we go. Now let's go over and take a look at the SPY. So what do we have with the SPY? SPY out here, folks, is trading out at a price point right now of 205.58, and what you have is this. The SPY sideways move out here today. You're doing 75 million shares. That's on the daily. On the weekly, what you have is that you're basically pushing lower, and the volume is not really tremendous, meaning it hasn't really expanded that much in the context of what you're going against. We're going against the updraft that was established the week of February 9th. That little baby there, well, actually, that went up. Yeah, no, we're actually pushing into a higher volume. We're pushing down at 538 versus going up into that level with 464. What I expect you're going to see is this, is that it's hard to believe that we're dealing with the end of the month again and the beginning of the month, meaning window dressing. This thing goes so quick, it blows my mind, folks, okay? It feels like I just said this on the air like 3 days ago. Bottom line, that's what you're dealing with, though. So what you can expect is that you can expect a little pump, a little sideways move, and at the end, let's see, yeah, at the end of next week, you can expect some pressure on the way down. We go into the 3 Qs. We take a look at the 3 Qs. What you have with the 3 Qs is this, the NDX 100. The NDX 100 looks to me like we're setting up a nice little ABC structure on the way down. What it has done is this. It has come into the lower swing point from the 12th of February, with volume on the daily and on the weekly. Now what you have out here today, you're bouncing with 19 million shares. You can always find out more about the counter trend bounce than the actual move itself. The actual move itself, we came down on Thursday. You came down with 41 million shares Wednesday 41 million, yesterday 47 million. Now you're bouncing on 19 million. That's a classic ABC structure on the way down. It's particularly classic when you look at the aspect of we have the high volume swing bars from December. That's the bottom of the consolidation. And then, of course, we have the October 15th swing low that's hanging out there in an extraordinary way. That October 15th swing low is a nasty swing low, folks. That baby's going to get hit. Inside the inside the NASDAQ today, what's moving the NASDAQ up? You have Kraft Foods as the takeover. That's up $4. That's at 88. That's the largest mover inside the NDX 100. You get Electronic Arts up $2. Alexa Pharmaceuticals up 624, and American Airlines is up 137. Taken away from it on the way down is that Tesla is down $8. You get SanDisk down again $2. Micron Tech is off 52 cents, and Seagate Technology is down 84 cents. If we go over and we take a look at Tesla, Tesla's, bottom line, not only off these highs, it's dramatically off these highs, and this thing wants to go lower. So TS. If we take a look at Tesla, we're trading at 182.31, and what is that doing, folks? That is hammering the bottom of and it's breaking out the bottom of 185, and bottom line, you bring this back a little. We'll put this on a weekly basis. What you're going to see is that when you put this on a weekly basis, first off, we're off the highs of 291, so you're down almost $100. The next line that it could basically catch a bid. Actually, one second. It's oh boy. So check this out. This is a larger ABC down. Let me pull this back a little bit so you can see how the clarity inside of this. Okay, so your A point on this, your A point is 259, which was the November 2014 high. So you get 259A. Your B is 185. 59, 259, that's 60, and 15, that's 75. Your C point is 225, which gets you $1.50. A to B equals C to D. You've already broken the B point. $1.50 is the number. That's where this wants to go. Your next swing point lower, where is she? Let me pull this back. It's $1.45, I believe. Right there. Well, $1.50 is your... This is pretty intense. You know why? 145. There's no 145. This thing's going to run for like 117. Man, this is in trouble. This is Tom O'Brien. This is TFNN. You stay right there, folks. We're coming right back. Dow is up 4. Nasdaq's up 15. S&Ps are up $1.50. We're going to be right back.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, Nasdaq, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments, and whether you're bullish or bearish on Chinese stocks, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
Trade with confidence and clarity while using the software that thousands of institutional traders rely on to make the best and most accurate decisions. Choose from 1,000 equities, currencies, and futures instruments utilizing the TAS architecture. As seen on Bloomberg terminals worldwide, the TAS Profile Scanner is a benchmark technical filtering system that thousands of traders rely on, and now you can too. For a limited time for TFNN subscribers only, we've reduced the price to just $97. That's over 75% off. John Logan hosted a special subscriber-only webinar in December, and you'll gain access to that archive as well, so you can learn exactly what the TAS Profile Scanner can do for you. Try this product out. No matter what you trade, the TAS Profile Scanner can help you make more informed trading decisions. There's no obligation to pay anything. Don't let this offer pass you by. Get your 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner today by signing up at TFNN.com. TFNN.com takes your phone calls. Now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. You get Honeywell up 52 cents. You get American Express down 45. We have Oxy down 84. Walmart is off 64. You get Big Blue down 59. JP Morgan is off 3. Let's go over and we take a look at the gold market first. And as we get into this gold market, what we're going to look at first is that we're going to look at the GLD. The way gold looks to be setting up for me, folks, okay, is a little sweet ABC structure on the way up. How did I just do this? Oops, sorry about this. 1 second. Bingo. There we go. Okay, so we pull this up, and what you're going to see is this. This is going to be neat to see how this shakes out. So the GLD, of course, that trades at 10% of the price of gold. What we have is this. We're trading out at 115.21. That's down 27 cents. You're doing 4 million shares today. So what gold had done, folks, is on the 18th, you had the wide price spread accelerated volume. That sent the GLD off the bottom, went from 110 to 112. Had the juice behind the move. You're coming into the gap. You know, that's where we're trading right now. It's the gap down from the March 5th to March 6th. You pull back today, and the pullback is sweet, meaning it's on such light volume. So the real key is going to be, is this an A to B structure that's already set up, and is it rejecting lower price today? Well, we'll find out Monday, and we'll find out soon enough. But it looks to me like it is, and this is why. You have the pullback is at 4 million shares. Your 4 million shares, we did good volume yesterday. We did 5.4 million at the highs. You're backing into the, let's see, we're backing into about 8 million shares. That's a good situation. We had 8 million going all the way up to 114. We come back to 145. The correlation in the A to B equals C to D, your A point on this is 109.77. Your B is up there at 115.84. And that gives you, of course, 6 points. If your C is out here, that brings you to 120. Well, that'd be the normal setup going back up again. Why? Because you get another gap that's laying out there when the gold gap down from the 1210 area down to the 1190 area. So the way this is set up right now, this looks to me like it's set up to run right up into this 119 area. Now, let's go over to the dollar index, because the correlation, bottom line, lower dollar, higher gold. And that correlation seems to be sticking, and I suspect it will stick. Why? Because gold's price in dollars. So, that being said, what do we have with the dollar index? Well, guess what? This is a sweet ABC structure on the way down. You have the high of the dollar index at 100.76. Now, I'm not going to use the spike low that was generated on the 18th, but gold, you know, the dollar index, when the Fed did come out with the announcement that they're taking patient out of their statement, that dollar spiked to 94.76. So what's cool about this is that 94.76 wants to get tested anyway, just from the spike alone. But if we just take the top of that index, which is 100.78, you take the lows that were established out here, excluding that low, you're dealing with 96.31, gives you about $4. Your C would be out here today, which is at 98.21, which gives you a 94. A 94, folks, brings you back under the breakout area of 96.47. It's the first part. Second part is actually bigger, because you break this 94.13, which is, you know, the 94 aspect, then there's nothing to hold this dollar up going all the way back down to 89. The reason being is that on the way up, of course, the dollar, you know, was on a tear, huge tear. On the way back down, guess what? That's how that baby shakes out. Now, that's the first part. And for all you folks that like Head and Shoulders out here, it'll be really intriguing to see, number one, if we do come down to the first level I'm talking about, which is 94. And if we do, what you want to be cognizant of then is this, is that will you set up a right shoulder of a very large Head and Shoulders? You know, And what does happen is this. Head and Shoulders, folks, when you're looking at markets, it looks like they're all over the place on a continual basis. So certainly don't always look for Head and Shoulders because they're everywhere. I'm bringing it up at this point because when I'm looking at where it actually wants to go, first the A to B equals C to D, it's like, hey, it wants to get down to that level. As it gets to that level, we'll see whether it trades sideways for a certain amount of time. If, in fact, we are setting up a Head and Shoulders, what you can expect is this. You'll have the fast move down. Then you will go sideways 2, 3, 4 weeks. Time-wise, that sets up real sweet, you know, because what we are doing, of course, we're going into April, and before we know it, we're going to be into the summer. The way it seems to be setting up right now is that it seems that, yeah, we can go downtown into the summer, do still a bounce sometime in July, basically start a downdraft again in August, coming right into the tough part of September. September, folks, always seems to be a tough part in the marketplace. What we have done here is on a basis of many equities is that those equities going back down into the October 15th swing low, and this is the kicker, many of those equities not holding the October 15th swing low. That is the big number. Inside the Dow Industrials today, putting the strength inside the Dow, you have United Technologies up $1.69, Pfizer's up 41. Excuse me, folks. Home Depot's up $1.34, and United Technologies is up 82. Bringing it downtown, huge. Chevron is down $1.18. You have ExxonMobil off 88. Apple is down 117, and Coca-Cola is off 36. If we do go over to Apple, what you're seeing is Apple is just drifting low for a market that basically is still right next to its highs. Well, I guess you can make the case Apple's still at its highs too, because we're at 123. The high is 133. But what you do have with Apple is that Apple, see, Apple also has a high volume swing low at. Apple's high volume swing low is $99, and you're at 123. This thing is going to build cause to get down into that area. We put this on a weekly for a second, and what you're going to see on the weekly. Let's see how we came off this week. Okay, so we made a high. It's pretty good, actually. We made a high with 368 million. That's not a bad high. We've come down. 2 weeks ago, we came down with 326 million, and this week we're coming down with short volume, 200 million. We're at 123. What should hold Apple up, and we'll see whether it actually does, is the way that it traded on the week of January 30th. The week of January 30th, what you had is that Apple did 465 million shares up to 120. If Apple breaks 120, then get out of the way, man. You're going to see 101 like pronto, because that was really that was strength, no doubt. How Apple was coming into that 120 area. We go take a look at the Ranggold Resources, GOLD. This is one of the stronger gold stocks out here, and they came in yesterday. They hit this baby. You stay right there. We're going to be coming right back. Dow Industrials right now are up 8. NASDAQ is up 15. S&Ps are up $1.50. Gold's down 5.30. We're going to be right back, folks.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Technomental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Technomental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you like it does me, visit everbank.com/TFNN to find out what they can do for you. Again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. Visit them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Tiger Real Estate Opportunity Fund is currently offering 4-year first mortgages on many of the fully renovated properties that it has purchased. The first mortgages are third-party appraised with a maximum loan-to-value ratio of 70%, providing a secured investment that pays a fixed return of 5% annually, which works out to a monthly income of more than $416 per $100,000 investment with your principal intact and secured. These 4-year first mortgages are perfect for anyone looking for a secured investment that provides monthly income much like a CD. For more information, email tigerfund@tfnn.com or click on the Tiger Real Estate Opportunity Fund banner along the right side of the tfnn.com homepage, or call our office directly at 877-518-9190. There's a limited supply, so act now.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We got a flat market out here. You get the Dow up 20, Nasdaq's up 16, S&Ps are up $1.50, meaning $1.50. Oil's the number. Oil's down $3. Let's go to Jason in Spokane, Washington. Hey, Jason, what's going on?
Oh, enjoying my Friday. How about yourself?
That's a beautiful thing, man. Totally. Nothing like it, man. Time flies, man. I'm telling you. You know, it blows my mind, folks, as I said a little bit earlier, that we're coming to the end of the month again. It's like, man, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, it's quick.
Yeah, it is quick. So what are we going to look at today?
Looking at your opinion on TVIX. How would I play it?
So let's take a look at this. It's TVIX. TVIX, folks, is the Velocity Shares Daily 2 times shot the short-term ETN, meaning the VIX, futures index. This is a product that I just don't see the probability of how you can basically make money on it, Jason. And the reason is this, is that in order for what happens when volatility comes in the marketplace, right?
Yeah.
It comes in, and you have to already own this product because the volatility comes in always before the market. Just that's almost the 90%. The futures are either down or up. They're down, of course. This thing's going to be up, and then it's already up. And other than that, you're talking about a leveraged product. And this is the important part about what I'm talking about inside this product or any leveraged product, folks, that if you're looking to take advantage of it. So what happens is that because the doubles and the triples, they reset themselves every day. If you bought this today and great, you had volatility on Monday, no problem. You bought this today and volatility didn't come in until, let's say, Friday. This thing, on a mathematical basis, absolutely would go lower every single day. So, I just don't, I can see it's only $1.72, and it's like, okay, I can't, let me ask you something. Do you trade options at all?
No, I don't do
Okay. I wouldn't be trading this just because it's a cheap stock. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I trade a lot of the triples. I just haven't. I played this one a little bit this week, which worked out well, but.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. The VIX product itself. The reason I asked, and folks, I don't want you to do this trade, but I'll tell you what the trade is. Okay. What the trade is on the VIX product, well, what I think the trade is anyway. What happens is this, is that, and this is a way that you can also play a gap down on an equity if you trade options. What happens is that when the VIX spikes, right, all of these products, okay, they not only spike, what they do is that they put more premium inside the option, and this would be a trade right at the very open. And what happens is that the option is going up, the premium is going up, and all you need is that if you get some flattening out, you get very quick decay inside the option premium. So what would end up happening is that you'd be basic on a VIX product, you'd be looking to basically sell a bear spread. I wouldn't just sell them, okay? Because then you can get in trouble, because what hasn't happened, which will happen, by the way, is that we'll see this VIX go and never come back down, or won't come back down for a certain amount of time. But that is inside that VIX product, that's a decent product. Inside an equity that gaps down at the very beginning of the day, that is a good trade, because the amount of premium that market makers have put inside that product works out pretty good. As long and in both cases, folks, all that has to happen is that either the VIX product or the equity just has to go flat. Meaning, and if you see a stock that gaps down 7 points, what happens is that, of course, it can go another 7. So you wouldn't want to just be selling at that point, meaning that you're thinking it's going to bounce. You want to do a spread, so you'd have a defined type of risk. But I just don't see a way inside this TIVX that you can have a trade before the fact. And this really has to, what you're hearing off me, Jason, is that it really has to do with the fact that because of the way the doubles and the triples reset themselves every day, it doesn't matter whether you're bullish or bearish on a double or a triple. If it goes sideways, it has to go down.
Right.
Because that's the math behind it.
Okay, appreciate it.
Okay, man. Listen, have a great one. Have a safe one. And, the doubles and triples, folks, okay, are great to trade. What you absolutely want to understand, though, is that you want to understand how do they work. That's the essence of them. And what they do is this. They compound on the way up. They compound the number on the way up. And they basically get defensive on the way down. So as you compound, what happens is this. if you're trading a double or triple, and the price point is like from about 12, or even 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, that I've found that's the sweet spot. The reason it's a sweet spot is that the movement, you get, let's say you get, whether it's a bullish or bearish, you're near 10 or 11. It goes up the next day to 12. It goes up the next day to like 14. It goes up the next day to about 19, because that's compounding, right? They get real dangerous when they start hitting 40, 45. Why? Because when they flip the other way, that off a large number, bang, that thing is vicious on the way down. Now let's talk about which he is looking at a very small number. The plus of trading a TVIX at $1.72 is that you're not going to get a lot of movement on the way down as they get defensive, because it's a mathematical scheme. So what does happen is that if you are trading these off bottoms, looking for doubles or triples that are at lower prices on the indices is not a bad idea. That's how that whole thing shakes out. So it's if we go over, let's go watch. We look at the TZA right now. The TZA is trading out at 10.45. Now the TZA is a 300% inverse correlation to the Russell 1000. Okay, the small cap index. Now what's so cool about this? This is at a beautiful price point. The reason being is that if you see the Russell move down just a small amount, you'll see this pop a little, but when this baby gets into about the 12 or 13 number, that is when, as you're tripling that and compounding that at 3 times, at 10, 11, 12, 13, you can get to 20 pretty quickly. And now the other side of that is that if you're trading a very large one, as I just said, that can turn into a huge problem because, in fact, if we look, what was the oil one? I want to show you something. If someone has that in the den, there's an oil one that they like trading in the den. And this. If you write on it, it's awesome. Thank you. It's DWTI. Now, so watch this shake out, folks. Okay, this one here, I'll pull this up for you. And we'll put this on a daily so you can see the kind of movement that you can get. DWTI. Thanks, Z. Okay, so this is the wisdom tree. Let's see. Is this still in managed futures? Exchange Trade Fund. DWTI. Hold on. DWTI. Okay, so this is Strategy Fund, Exchange Trade Fund. No, this is an income fund. I put the wrong one up. 1 second. This is funny. DWTI. How did I do this? I got it right on my screen. Anyway, what you have is this. This equity on the 18th traded from 175 to 141. That is, you're talking about. I got it. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Okay. So DWTI is the velocity 3 times inverse crude ETN. 3 times, okay? So bottom line is that you can see when you're a large number what ends up happening. 175 to 121, or 141. It's gone 175 right down to yesterday the low was at 105. Now what do you have out here today? You got oil going south today. Expansion out here today from 112 to 127. Big numbers, folks. Big numbers. Okay, you're up $18.82 right now on the DWTI because you are compounding a number of 125. That's how that shakes out. UWTI. This is the long crude. This one here. Now, see, this is just the opposite now. Well, this gets interesting because UWTI, you'll see this one here is only trading at $2.34. This is Tom O'Brien. This is TFNN. You stay right there. We're going to be coming right back. Dow Industrials are up 121. Nasdaq's up 28. S&P's are up 3.5. Gold's down 620. King Dollar's off 202 ticks. We're going to be right back, folks.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
We're told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy, a set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders, take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.com TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien.
Welcome back, folks. And, it's going to be wild watching this whole thing shake out in about the next week and a half. The reason being, I'm talking about rates now. So Janet Yellen, this is just coming across the tape. So Janet Yellen actually is speaking, she just finished speaking in San Francisco. And coming across, this is about as blatant as you can get. Chair Janet Yellen says she expects the Federal Reserve to raise interest rates this year and that subsequent increases will be gradual without following a predictable path. Now, what they did say in their statement, folks, is that not that part that they would raise rates this year. They said when they would raise rates, you wouldn't expect that it would be gradual and there is no predictable path. Now, this one here is a little bit different. This is a quote. I expect that conditions may warrant an increase in the federal funds rate target sometime this year, Yellen said Friday in remarks prepared for delivery in San Francisco. She already delivered it. She just delivered it. She and fellow policymakers generally anticipate that a rather gradual raise in the federal rates will be appropriate over the next few years. And she went on to say, and what this has to do with, she went to say, number one, she wasn't going to wait for a 2% inflation rate, and number two, she felt that the employment picture is strong. So this is going to be wild watching this whole thing shake out. Now, as we do watch it shake out, let's go over to the bond market, because the bond market certainly is still not paying attention to what Janet Yellen's saying, and they're trying to throw everything and anything they can at the bond market to pay attention. And, depending on how long you've been around, folks, most of the time, the bond markets predict things much better than the rest of the market. Right now, what we have is that bonds, the 10 years at 128.18, and guess what? The highs want to be reached. The way this is set up on a technical basis, your 130.20 wants to be hit. And on a 130.20, that is saying rates continue down and not up. Our 10-year right now is still running at 1.956. The rest of the world, of course, which we've talked about a million times, bottom line, the rates are dramatically lower. And so they're going to be hard bent to turn around and raise rates. We'll see where the whole thing shakes out. They don't have a meeting, and no, they have a meeting in April. They do not have a meeting in May, and they do have a meeting in June. So we'll see going into the beginning of the summer, is that where they're going to try to basically juice some rates. Now, that certainly didn't move the market at all, but you know what that just did? That just moved gold a bit. Gold just went from down 550 to down 850. Big deal. Why am I saying big deal? Because the ironic part about it is that if in fact we go up in rates, yes, it will move gold, but guess what? It's going to move the markets more than it's going to move gold. Let's go to Steve in Nashville. Hey, Steve, what's going on?
Tom, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. You having a good day?
Yes, I am, sir. Thank you.
Cool, man.
Hey, before I ask the question, when was the last time you were in that studio in Nashua before you moved out of there?
Oh, man.
Do you remember?
A long time ago, because my son was running that station, and he's been down here forever.
Like 12 years ago, at least, right?
Yeah.
10, 12? Yeah, I don't know if you remember. I was the guy that walked in.
Dunkin' Donuts.
And I had a Dunkin' Donuts coffee.
I do, man. I listen. You know what's so cool about this? It's amazing. Time is a mind blower. I remember right where I was sitting. I remember when I looked up and you're at the door, right?
Yeah, you looked out the window and I left the coffee with somebody there.
Yeah. I love it, man. That is so cool.
That seems like yesterday,
I know, man. It's crazy. Let me tell you something. Folks, I do this all the time. Well, I did a couple different things, but when I do this all the time, you look forward, you look backward, right? I say to myself, oh, my God, I've been on the air 20 years. Now, if I fast forward 20 years, it's pretty scary, okay? So you know what I did? So this is a trick, folks, okay? This is a good trick. when I turn 60, I start counting backwards. Swear to God.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Why not? Do you know what I mean? Why not? It's like, okay, because it's a whole perception deal, man. It's a head game.
It is.
You know, it's like, okay, yeah. I'm telling you, Mitch, just gotta start counting backwards. I think it works. Some days it works.
All right, enough of that, I guess. Hey, I called up about, just in general, the silvers like EXK, AG.
I like
those two. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Those two kind of look like they have the same pattern the last month or so, almost like an ABC right now.
They do. Listen, I like AG, and I like EXK. This is what the difference is. AG is more stable. You know, AG, folks, is First Majestic. It's traded at 586. This is the guy, he has a lot of silver, and he's holding a lot of silver, and yeah, I like this setup. You know, it looks like an ABC to me, you know, and it has that high volume swing high going back from January 12th at 7:15, so it's like, okay, that wants to make that run. That's the way that is setting up. That's the way it looks to me, okay? EXK, the difference with EXK is this. It seems that when EXK looks good, it looks great. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, man, you get smoked, you know?
Yeah.
So,
you know, I'm sorry to interrupt you there, but forget EXA for a second. That's the same scenario as with the little guy, GPL.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's like
I've been watching that.
Great Panther. Yeah, there's no doubt. Listen, man, I know. You know, I own a lot of Great Panther.
Oh, you do?
I do. Yeah, I do. Listen, I'm watching it like a hawk because it's like, man, what are you doing? You know, there's no buyers. You know.
Right. Yep.
And you know, technically, I still like the stock. Fundamentally, I like the stock. But guess what? We need buyers, man. You know.
Yes, sir.
And one of the main reasons, folks, that I like Great Panther, well, I know Bob really well, the CEO. They take in lots of dollars, and that's not the kicker, though. The kicker is it has a high volume high. The high volume high is at $5. So it's like, okay, you're 56 cents. You get a high volume high at $5. Even if it tests the low of the high, it's $3.56. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, maybe it's a waiting game on that thing.
Oh, it's a waiting game.
Yeah. I thank you, my friend.
Okay, man.
Have a good one.
Have a great one, man. Have a safe one. Dow right now is up, let's see. So the Dow's up 23. You get the NASDAQ up 30. S&Ps are up 450. Volume is going to come in light. So what you're doing, you're setting up, more than likely, you're setting up a small B2C of an ABC down. That's the way this is shaking out right now. Let me see. Yeah. That's how this baby's setting up. It's a beautiful thing. You're setting up a nice, the NASDAQ is going to do, you get a bounce in the NASDAQ. NASDAQ's going to do like a 1.7 billion versus 2 billion on the way down. NYSE is going to set up about 600 million if it's lucky versus 800 and 790 on the way down. So you're talking some decent numbers here, folks. No doubt about it. You stay right there, folks. I'm in, Mr. Dave White. We're going to be coming back with you for the next hour, growling and prowling. Dow Industrials right now up 38. NASDAQ is up 29. S&Ps are up 450. Gold's down 730. Silver's off 19. Going to be right back.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Let's go to Nick in Tampa. Hey, Nick, what's going on?
Tom O'Brien, it is an absolute pleasure.
Thanks so much, man. We appreciate you calling.
No problem. Dude, I've been listening to your show for about 2 years now, and it has just been wonderful. I listen to you, Basil, Andy. You guys do an amazing job.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you growling and prowling out here with us.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 10 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever You focus on grows. Hope everyone's having a great day, safe day. It's a TGIF, folks. Let's make it a great one. You know what's amazing? I got my tech guru here at TFNN, Mr. Dave White, and when I pick these cards out, I always pick the same cards out. It's pretty cool. I mean, look it up. This is stacking them. And I don't look at them, folks. I just pick them out. Anyway, I like this one anyway. This is by Maya Angelou. I believe the most important single thing beyond discipline and creativity is daring to dare. Oh, yeah. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We have the Dow Industrials closed up 34. NASDAQ up 27, S&P's up 3.5. Gold contract down $78.80, trading at $1,197 an ounce. Silver down 22 cents at $16.91. Both of those babies, folks, we'll go through them. They look like they're setting up a ABC structure in the way up. We went up with volume last 7 days. We pulled back with lighter volume. Nice setup. Platinum down $17 at $1,137 an ounce. Copper down 4.5 pennies at $2.77 a pound. Light sweet crude down $3. That $3, folks, got down in the last hour and a half. Our man, Mr. Dave White, he was coming into the studio saying, what the heck is going on with oil? I said, you know what? I don't know either. We were hunting it, and it's like all's well in the world, folks. They smoke oil on the way down. Gold's down $8. I guess it's going to be a calm weekend.
Normally, you at least pick one to get into the fear trade for the weekend.
No
Either
doubt.
you buy some gold or you buy some oil in case everything goes to hell in a handbasket over the weekend. No one has any fear either way, gold or oil.
And, you know, in the aspect of that, even when I was doing the show yesterday in the morning show, I said, no one's going to be shot in that. Well, guess what? They were shot into it, right? And no, seriously, it doesn't go down like that, folks, unless the bears are pushing into it, right?
The only thing I could figure out on oil is that I started seeing the huge numbers that Saudis were putting in, and maybe they thought because such a huge commitment, it's going to be over quick.
Yeah.
Right? That it's not like...
You know what it is? No, this is what it is. Okay, so what Dave was talking about is that the amount of troops that are going into Yemen, right? But simultaneously, you know what they're going to do? Simultaneously, when you do that, what are they going to do? They're going to up production. That would be
to pay for
to calm the world down.
Okay.
That's what I'm speculating that. But you see, that would be like, okay, that's what they're going to do, which would make sense.
They saw it go up a couple bucks, and they said, hey, we're going to turn on the spigot.
We're going to turn on the spigot big time. Turn that bathtub on, man. Bonds, bond market, 10-year up 11.6, 128.19. The 30-year up almost 2 points at 164.06. King dollar down 57 ticks at 97, and the euro up 6 at 108. Now, if we take a look at how the S&P is just traded, folks, okay, this is a little deviant, but bottom line is that what you're going to see if we use the SPY. The SPY is coming into the first swing point on the way down, and you have some juice as we're coming into that level. The SPY closed out at 205.74. That 205.74, if we put this on a weekly basis, well, first off, on the daily basis, you can make the case that we got a small ABC maybe on the way down. You know, you came down with volume. You did a bounce out here today with 108 million. That's after coming down with 159 million and 153 million. So you did a small bounce. That's on the daily. On the weekly, what you have is that you've gone into that swing point from 204.40, which was generated on March 11th, and you're going into that with volume. What you have still set up, which is pretty cool, is that where the S&P itself had broken out on the 12th of February, you're back inside that range. So just even the context of being back inside that range, it's like, hey, the bottom of that range is 197. The bigger issue, of course, is what's been sticking out like a sore thumb, is this October 15th swing low. You know, this October 15th swing low is going to be a trip, man, because we've seen how many stocks have gone down to that level. But the S&P is a long way away from it still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing that I thought was very strange is if you look at the big, like XOM and Oxy, they all tested their low on light volume and could not bounce out of it. And now they're kind of going back down. They kind of broke the lows with lighter volume, came back in, and there's a lot of kind of strange stuff going on out here.
Let's look at it, because what Dave's talking about, folks, this is, I can tell you this, okay? When you're looking at markets, right, I'm not a person that is going to buy and hold anything, okay? If I did, well, I can't say that because I still have my certificates that my mother gave me, okay? So
There'll be one.
I've had plenty of certificates for a long period of time, okay? But I didn't buy them. Guess what? I received them, okay? So I do have certificates. But if I did buy one, it would be ExxonMobil. Okay? Because the oil's not going away, folks. I don't care what people think. Oil's not going away. They got billions. But ExxonMobil is not acting correctly. And so looking at the marketplace and then looking at saying, look at October 15th swing low, ExxonMobil blows it away, okay? ExxonMobil right now on a weekly basis is saying you've already blown out all the bottoms. It's like, okay, so what is still sticking out here? What's sticking out is going back to, June of 2012.
Yeah.
And that's where it's going. That thing wants to go after that, and that's only... it's only $10 more down, but $10 is $10.
For a big company like that.
Well, that's just telling me that, hey, guess what? Something more downside is in store for us. I mean, that's the way that shakes out. Because, folks, you got to get something, wrapped around in your head. Most companies don't have the amount of cash as ExxonMobil has. I don't care where we go in the marketplace, ExxonMobil is going to be alive. A lot of these other companies will not be alive, If we go over and look at the 3Qs, 3Qs had some juice. The 3Qs led, the NDX 100 led on the way up, and what we have on the way down, they got some juice inside them, and they sold them off very quickly. What is going to be wild watching this, and then we're going to bring this baby up, the 3Qs look like a classic ABC structure on the way down. What we did with the 3Qs, we come down on Wednesday with 41 million, Thursday 47 million, we bounce on 33. You come into the swing point, you broke the swing point, we're in the lower range, right now at 105.52. Once you got back inside that 106 area, you're in the lower range, so it's like, hey man, this is game for the bottom. Larger yet is that where that $99 is. They're all down a long way from where we are, man. It's pretty amazing. We go and take a look at the IWM, the Russell 2000. Russell 2000 out here. Now, very well could have set up a small ABC structure on the way down today, but what you do have in the Russell is that you have the context that you're not even inside the lower trading range. And what we do have is that it's hard to believe that we're at the end of the month, at the beginning of the month, and the good old window dressing is going to start today. It feels like it was just yesterday that we were talking about this. Then you did your, and I know you follow it really closely.
Right.
And then you did your webinar on the White Lightning, and all of a sudden we're at the beginning of the cycle again, man.
It's just, it gets faster and faster every month, it seems like. The one thing that I haven't seen, and I said it on my show today, was normally I get the data from Trim Tabs.
Yes.
That says what the inflow or outflows of funds are going to be. And I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
So I guess I'll probably get it over the weekend to see what's coming in or what's going out. Just because it's fun buying season doesn't necessarily mean cash is coming in, although most of the time it does.
Listen, I understand. Hey, listen, folks, you want to see something sick? I'll tell you. I'll show you something sick. So the aspect of this bond market, right? The bottom line is that inside the bond market, the flow that has gone out of the iShares TLT has never been bigger since 2002. Guess what? That doesn't stop it from going up.
Right.
If I've seen it, isn't that a trip though? Okay.
It is.
Because that's a big number, and it's at the very beginning there's divergence, no doubt. One of the best things that I heard out here this week for being on the divergence of what's going on in the marketplace is that on CNBC, Fast Money. Every single, not only just what they do now, folks, is that you can tweet in, they're having this fight between a couple different stocks. Bottom line, Apple won everything every single time, and they even got nervous. Because what happens in that, folks, who knows how this really goes, but if everyone agrees on everything, it's a problem.
You've got to have somebody turning into a bull to buy it from you.
Yeah, it's the merry-go-round in the chairs. There's no doubt about it. Dave White, Tom O'Brien, we appreciate you growling and prowling with us out there. You stay right there, folks. We're coming right back. Down. Dow finished up 34, NASDAQ up 27, S&P's up 4.5. We're going to be right back. Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
With the launch of Tiger TV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pesavento, Andy Hecht, Thinkorswim, or Carol Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing. Trade with confidence and clarity while using the software that thousands of institutional traders rely on to make the best and most accurate decisions. Choose from 1,000 equities, currencies, and futures instruments utilizing the TAS architecture. As seen on Bloomberg terminals worldwide, the TAS Profile Scanner is a benchmark technical filtering system that thousands of traders rely on, and now you can too. For a limited time for TFNN subscribers only, we've reduced the price to just $97. That's over 75% off. John Logan hosted a special subscriber-only webinar in December, and you'll gain access to that archive as well, so you can learn exactly what the TAS Profile Scanner can do for you. Try this product out. No matter what you trade, the TAS Profile Scanner can help you make more informed trading decisions. There's no obligation to pay anything. Don't let this offer pass you by. Get your 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner today by signing up at TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Tom takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. Dave White, Tom O'Brien. Appreciate you growling and prowling with us out here. And don't forget, folks, at TFNN, we do 10 hours of live programming every trading day. You can get it right on your cell phone, TFNN.mobi. If you'd like to check out Tiger TV, just go to TFNN.com. On the right-hand side, you're going to see a little box. It says mobile devices. Hit it. You get Tiger TV. We're looking at I'm looking at a picture. If you're driving in your car, it says hacking iPhones. And there's a couple plugs here. What are we looking at, Dave?
Well, I talked about how tough it is to have a phone physically in your possession that you can't hack.
Right.
And probably a lot of people think that maybe by having a fingerprint in their iPhones or the new Samsungs that you could keep somebody out of it.
Okay.
Well, this little device is on sale on eBay for $150.
Already?
Yeah.
Okay, so what does it do? Oh my God, that's sick.
Both of the systems, you have both your fingerprint and a 4-digit PIN number, right?
Okay.
So basically you plug into the input jack on it, and it just goes through all the PIN numbers.
Which is easy because a 4 number is easy.
4 numbers.
Yeah.
And when it finds the right one, it stops. It's got a little sensor that if on the screen where you can see it's just kind of rubber banded onto the front. So when the screen changes, it knows to quit.
Okay.
And then it just shows you on the little box the PIN number on it. But there's physically, I think a lot of people think, hey, I've got my fingerprint on it. They can't get it out of it. But these boxes, the guy is selling them to repair stations where people forget their PIN number or forget their fingerprint.
Yeah.
But on eBay, anybody can buy them,
That's
right?
crazy.
So it's not a big deal. But until you probably get something like a retina scan on these things, there's probably no real security. And even then, given enough time and effort someone could get in, it's any basic security doesn't mean that someone can't get in. I mean, they're getting in the White House, for God's sakes, right?
But it's good. It's good for 99.9% of the people.
Right.
That's the bottom line.
And you just want to know that there's several layers of security, not just one before they get in.
Right.
So is it pretty good? Yes. But if you lose your PIN number or you hurt your thumb and you can't get in any longer, you can always take it to a repair station, and they can figure out what your PIN number is.
You know what was interesting is that I heard this in my car, actually. There was a program on CNBC the other night, and you know they have these night programs, and this guy that sells these high-end safes, right?
Yeah.
Was talking about that. Listen, a high-end safe, absolutely you can break into. He says any high-end safe that we have you can get into within an hour and a half. You know what you're doing, you're blow torching it, right? What a high-end safe is all about is you better have other security in place so that by the time they're trying to get into your high-end safe, you know, basically you got the law there or someone's there to basically, you know, approach.
Night watchman wanders through every hour, right?
Exactly.
If it takes an hour and a half to get through, you have somebody walk through every hour.
Exactly. What's the next one we're looking at here?
Well, let's see if I can get this thing to do this. I'm not exactly sure why it keeps doing this. Maybe I can just go on to this and try to get it to do something. I don't know. It's stuck.
So, well, that's all right.
Okay.
Quantum computers.
Yeah, we'll just do this.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. Quantum computers, for people that don't know what quantum computers are compared to regular, what are called classical computers.
Yeah.
Quantum computers use the quantum states of an atom or an isotope of an atom or something. And that's where things really start working very strangely. And they use that strangeness to an advantage. The problem is that they've had huge amounts of errors. And here's the definitive example of how to use a quantum computer. You need to go to 20 different places today, and you're delivering something from UPS. What's the shortest route to all 20 places?
Straight line.
Well, yeah, but you're going to go to one, the first, and then maybe you have to take right turns and left turns.
Okay, yes.
Right, so you want to figure out for your driver
the best
route to get it. And it's called a traveling salesman's problem. It's been around for a long time in mathematics.
Yeah. Oh, well, listen, I do it when we're going to all the real estate. I figure that out every Saturday morning when I'm checking it out.
Well, when there's 20 places, you can kind of think it through in your head. When there's 200 places, suddenly you're talking about the permutations are more than the grains of sand on the earth.
Right.
And this is where quantum computers really work because they can look at all 200 places at one time, where classical computers would have to try through trial and error every single one.
Every single one. Oh, cool. I got it.
Okay, so basically they can look at every number in the series simultaneously at the same time. So there are problems, mostly in cryptography, that with all the computers in the world all trying on the same problem would still be 1,000 or 2,000 years out from today before they solved them. Quantum computers are going to probably solve them in about half a minute.
Wow.
Now,
That's intense.
It's a very specific kind of problem, but
Okay.
cryptography is really big on it, so you know the government's going to be in it.
Yeah.
Google's in it because they want to do, right now...
Because they want to own the world.
Well, if they're doing analytics, right now they may not have the analytics back about what you did for a day or two, right? Because their computers are doing the same thing, but...
They want it now.
They want it now. They want you to click on something and them to anticipate what you want in the next second.
Sure.
And it's not going to be available in classical computers, only in quantum computers. The problem is that quantum computers only give you not an exact answer, but say that answer is probably 90% correct or 95% correct. So the problem's always been coming up with a way of knowing when an answer was truly 100% correct, not just kind of 90%, 95% correct, right? I think it's 95% correct. So the University of Santa Barbara, California, Google, NASA have all been buying these the first edition of these quantum machines and working on them. The problem has still been, how do you know when the answer's right or not?
You know, Dave just brought up, folks, for all you young folk out there, the University of California at Santa Barbara, go to it. It is absolutely incredible. I used to do a lot of business in Santa Barbara, and there's a small airport, and you could fly in. I used to fly in and meet someone for breakfast at the Four Seasons, do business, and fly back out again. And one day, American Airlines, this is a long time ago, American Airlines used to fly in there. But the University of California, Santa Barbara is right there. Now, I never realized that they're so far ahead of it. I mean, that's pretty intense, right?
There's a lot of consortiums. There's kind of the Google...
and because they're
Google,
right there.
The Google crowd. Then there's Microsoft, and they've got their own colleges.
Okay.
They're kind of aligned with Stanford. But they're all working on these problems. Probably the biggest thing, though, is they've come up with an algorithm to let them know when they've got and when they didn't have a problem solved absolutely correctly. And there's a bunch of little things that they're going to have to solve as these things come around.
And what common sense-wise, what will these do to help society?
Crack codes instantly.
Okay.
So it won't be one of these things where, for the most part, it'll almost be impossible to have a code that's uncrackable.
Yeah.
Okay. For other things, they will solve problems in science and mathematics, but also business problems on gigantic scales, like Google.
Nice.
What's trending in the next 5 minutes? If Twitter is trying to get you to do something now or know what's trending, instead of being an hour or 2 hours down the line when a classical computers could go through all the data, you could have the answer in a half a second. So it will, on very special problems, solve them instantly.
They'll own the market.
Right, yeah.
They'll own the market. This is Tom O'Brien, Dave White. We appreciate you growling and prowling with us out here, folks. You stay right there. We're going to be coming right back. Dow Industrials finished up 34. NASDAQ up 27. S&P's up 4. We're going to be right back.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
We're told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy, a set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders, take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments, and whether you're bullish or bearish on U.S. Treasuries, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Tiger Real Estate Opportunity Fund is currently offering 4-year first mortgages on many of the fully renovated properties that it has purchased. The first mortgages are third-party appraised with a maximum loan-to-value ratio of 70%, providing a secured investment that pays a fixed return of 5% annually, which works out to a monthly income of more than $416 per $100,000 investment with your principal intact and secured. These 4-year first mortgages are perfect for anyone looking for a secured investment that provides monthly income much like a CD. For more information, email tigerfund@tfnn.com or click on the Tiger Real Estate Opportunity Fund banner along the right side of the tfnn.com homepage, or call our office directly at 877-518-9190. There's a limited supply, so act now.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Right, Tom O'Brien, appreciate you growling and prowling with us out here. Don't forget, folks, Dave has an outstanding show every trading day, 2 to 3 Eastern Standard Time, right here at TFNN. Also got a great newsletter. It's the Path of Least Resistance. You can test drive it right here, right now, free. The way you do it, go to TFNN, go to newsletters, go to trading newsletters. You can test drive it right here, right now. We got to, excuse me, folks. We got to slide up streaming music.
Yeah, Universal Music Group, which represents a great deal of the artists.
Oh, yeah.
Wants Spotify and the rest of the bunch to severely curtail the amount of free streaming that you can do. Now, I like Spotify, which is a great service. And if you pay, your commercials go away.
Yes.
If you don't, they play a commercial, I don't know, every 15 or 20 minutes and stuff. And to tell you the truth, I don't listen to that much music on Spotify, so I'm not going to subscribe to it.
Now, is Spotify just like Pandora? Same thing?
It's close.
Okay.
There's some very fine differences between all these, including what Apple bought with Beats and all the other ones. But for the most part, they're pretty much that. Now, there's two kinds of services. One, where they pick the content for you, right?
Yeah.
You kind of have a channel, and they play it all for you.
Right.
And the other kind where Spotify is that I pick the things I want.
Sure.
Right? Now, Spotify does have some things where if you like certain genres,
right,
they've got music already curated for you, which is the the buzzword in Silicon Valley is curated music. Yeah.
No, but so that's the same as Pandora. The thing that blows my mind, I mean, I listen to a lot of music, daytime, nighttime, and I don't pay for the subscription because there's so much you get even on Pandora for free. I mean, you know.
So they're going to start limiting that. I don't know if it means more ads or anything else, but this music business has been broken for a while. It hasn't changed, and the only thing I can see that's going to change in the near future is really when Apple starts pushing Beats music, which they have not up to this point.
Right.
I don't know if there's anything else that they can do or they think they can do to change it, but it looks like a lot of people, you know, musicians pointing at the labels pointing at the services like this.
The labels have always been notorious for taking the music people to the cleaners.
Right.
Okay, that when I look at music in general, it blows my mind. In fact, I said this to someone this morning, that I'm glad I'm not in the music business because there's so many people that are so talented, that are so great. It's like, how do you bust through first?
Right.
Then you bust through. Then now you got to deal with the labels. It's like, oh my God, what a tough business. I mean,
and they think they own you.
Yeah. Oh, it's a tough deal, man.
And they do, for a certain extent, have helped you gain your success.
Yeah.
It's not like maybe you wouldn't have success if you went to another label too.
Right.
So
have you ever listened to The Voice?
I've seen it. Yeah.
It's phenomenal, man. I mean, these young people and the talent is just unbelievable.
There was the guy on the other one that started the whole thing. What's the name of that?
Yeah, right. That's not even close to The Voice, but
that's what he wanted the show to be.
Yeah.
Like, because that's what it was in England. It was much more. We don't care where you came from. If you can sing good, it's important.
Right.
The
not Survivor. I know what you mean because the difference is dramatic. But American Hero or something. Right?
No. Now you got me going. I'm having a brain aneurysm right now.
Yeah.
But the part of this where it's still a problem. American
Idol. Yeah, right. Thanks, Al.
When he left, the big guy that left off the show,
Simon Cowell,
he wanted that kind to be more, and they wouldn't let him play instruments. They wouldn't let him do a lot of things, right?
Okay, yeah.
You can do anything on these new shows. All they want is somebody that really can sing and play music well.
Yeah.
So it's not uncommon to see these shows that won't grow as they move along.
Right.
You know, have an issue. But to me, other than that, you don't have a lot of avenues anymore to break out.
No, you don't.
And, if Spotify plays your commercial with your music and says your new album's coming out, or your friend says, hey, I heard a good album, that's kind of it. But there's not a lot of other people like that anymore.
No, in music right now, it's the Rolodex. It's the Rolodex, man. Well, in business, it's the Rolodex too, but music, it's really the Rolodex. Advances in 3D printing we're looking at.
There hasn't been a lot of advances in 3D printing. VoxelJet had about a 10% bounce today in it. But probably the big changes, other than we talked about size last week, the really big ones, is the materials that they print with. And some of that's going to be steel. But I thought this was probably the most significant thing that's happened probably in a year in the traditional 3D printing where they print in plastic. The problem has been that they've used ABS plastic, and it's not real strong, and you have to do a lot of specialized things to make whatever you print in the thing usable. But they finally come out with what they call alloy 910, but it is the kind of plastic you think you would go to the store and get if someone actually made something. It'd be that strong, right?
Okay, yes.
Like it came out of a mold.
Yeah, no, I've seen some plastic that is wicked strong. It's hard to even understand that it's plastic.
Yeah, the problem has been either the temperatures had to be too high or it was kind of mushy or a lot of other things. But it sounds like they finally got it right, that it's at low enough temperature to actually flow through the existing 3D printers that are in the market now. But when it does harden, it hardens like true injection molded high temperature plastics. And the durability of nylons, it doesn't shrink a lot. That's been a problem with other ones.
Okay, so something like this, when they're still using the 3D, are they still using the 3D to make models and then do it, or are the people actually using 3Ds to make a product and sell that product?
There's both.
There's both.
There's a kind of Amazon company that you send the blueprint for the design to.
Right.
And they'll make it for you and send it to you. But they also put it on their website, and if other people want it, and they click on it, they give you a taste. They wet your beak on the way when it comes back out.
So if you're out there thinking of creating something, what you'd want to do is you need to create something that had a big enough wide price spread on it. That you could make it, let's say, for $10 and sell it for $50 or $30 or $50. You know, right?
They're probably going to sell it for $15 if it costs $10 to make. You might make 50% margins on it.
But you lose money. You can't sell a retail product.
No, because they just send you a check for $5.
Oh, no, I understand that. I'm looking at a bigger aspect.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Now, the big problem is that it's still a order of magnitude cheaper if you're building anything in volume to build with molds.
Okay.
So it's never going to be that cheap.
Right.
What the problem has been is you could have an example of what you wanted, but not a usable product, even if the product was going to be in plastic.
Yes.
Okay. So a lot of times people started off using this to make molds for metal
which
devices.
Makes sense to make sure something goes. Yeah, right.
And then eventually you move down to it. Now you could actually make projects in plastic, kick them out, and have people play with them for a while before you get to the mold process, and it wouldn't be significantly different than the product that came out of the mold.
I gotta check this out, man. So that means that you could actually make a house out of this, right?
I showed you the video of them making it out with concrete 6 months ago.
I'd like to make it. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, because then you can really understand what the feeling is, right?
Right.
Yeah. So the next one is Boeing's force field.
Now, since Star Trek and Lost in Space and all the 1960s things, there's always been these force fields and all the sci-fi stuff.
Man, this is cool.
Boeing has a patent on a force field now.
Really?
And it actually works.
Really?
Now, it's not exactly what you would see in Star Trek or that, but the idea is, especially in the military, if you had a big shell land near you, could the thing react fast enough, and would it protect you from both the shock and the shrapnel coming at you? And the answer is sort of right now, yes.
Would it stop, let me ask you, could you put a force field up around your house?
It doesn't work that way. It only works for, like, it sees something happening and it reacts to what's happening.
I see. So it's a charge of energy going out.
All of a sudden. Now, the way this thing works is it basically turns the air to plasma. Now, for people that didn't spend a lot of time in science, plasma is the fourth way that matter is. You've got basically liquids, solids, gases, right?
Okay.
Now, if you strip all the electrons off the atoms in something like a gas, it is a plasma. And now it's a soup of the inside of the atom and all these electrons just flying around. So as something comes through it, all these electrons are bombarding whatever comes through.
Yeah.
But it can actually make air in plasma state act like a wall and stop and slow things down.
That's so cool.
And that's basically what this thing is doing, is it's using the equivalent of your microwave, right?
Yeah.
To ionize air out in a direction, and it is stopping things like shrapnel. Now, it wouldn't take, right now it's not powerful enough to take a direct hit.
Yeah.
But it would, anything like if they got close is good enough. At least that's what Boeing says right now.
I like it. You stay right there, folks. Dave White, Tom O'Brien, appreciate you growling and prowling with us out here. Dow finished markets basically finished out flat, folks. We're going to be right back.
Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Technomental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Who says you can't take it with you? TFNN says you can. With your mobile device and TFNN's live radio streams, TFNN has put it all in the palm of your hands. No special apps to download. No subscription fees for live radio or Tiger TV streams. We say you can.
Each and every time that the dollar ticks higher, S&P wants higher price. Each and every time that the dollar's ticking lower, guess what? S&P wants lower price. Dollar, the metals, and the S&P are going tick for tick.
We say you can. The Tiger Financial News Network. Smart investors and professional traders know you can. TFNN.com. Educating investors. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien.
Welcome back, folks. Dave White, Tom O'Brien. We appreciate you growling and prowling with us out here. Now, Altera. Altera is up $9.80, like 20%. It took off like a rocket ship at 2:30. It looks like Intel wants to take them out. So why would Intel want to take out Altera?
Altera and Xilinx both make programmable logic chips. And to give you an idea, programmable logic gives you, as a manufacturer, the ability to make programs inside silicon. But you could literally take a programmable logic chip and make a computer CPU out of it.
Okay.
You can put all the logic and everything that you ever need inside of it to run an entire device. In fact, if you've got a router at home, it's most likely running on one of these design chips, either from Xilinx or Altera.
Really?
You can make everything in the world you can put into it because it's basically a blank canvas for silicon. And these things are basically sold as 100,000 gates, 1,000,000 gates, 1 billion gates.
And what's a gate mean?
A gate is basically a yes or a no.
Okay.
Now you put those gates.
Oh, that's a program. That's why you programmed on so many of them yourself, right?
We put them in, but let's say that you want to build a new product. So you can design all the logic and get everything right and perfect in these programmable logic chips, but they're 3 or 4 times the cost of actually building a dedicated chip to do the same thing.
Okay.
So if you're doing low volume, like maybe 5,000 or 10,000 or 20,000 a year, it doesn't make sense to go out and spend a huge amount of money to make a custom chip. But if you're making $1 million a year, like Apple is, basically you start off with these chips, you figure out, get it all right with these chips, and then you send what's called a tape off to the fab, and they build you a chip per spec, but it's 4 times less, or 100, or 10 times less, or 100 times less, depending on how many you build, right?
I'm with you. So why, I mean, I know Intel's huge, and I know about a few months ago you had brought up that Intel was coming out with some new technology. So
right. Everybody wants Intel to build their devices because they're about 18 months ahead of everybody else. Now, the reason that they may have bought Altera is that that they think that they could get a good job, because if they buy Altera, they can use their own technology for 14-nanometer construction and make these things use a huge amount of power less than the competitor, which is going to be Xilinx. So Xilinx, I noticed, was popping after hours too.
Right.
Now, I'm not exactly sure why, if you bought Altera, Xilinx would be an alternative, but maybe they think Taiwan Semiconductor or somebody else would go after Xilinx. But the reason that Altera would be worth a lot of money to Intel is that they could put that to work on the latest chips technology that they can build. And in fact, the new
that would be a leading edge big time, yeah.
The new Skylake processors from Intel are going to come out in September. They're going to use yet another about another 35% less power than the chips available today that just came out 4 months ago.
That's amazing.
So there's this constant race for technology. Now, my thought is Intel would be smart, especially since they're going after a lot of these mobile platforms.
Right.
To have the ability to offer these chips that use very little power, that aren't not consistently used in mobile applications because they pull so much power. But once you start really making these things, most of what Altera and Xilinx makes is at like 28 nanometers. So figure it's probably going to use 4 times as much power as what Intel could do with their manufacturing.
Okay.
So it makes a lot of sense to open up a huge market in programmable logic chips and using Intel's manufacturing capability at these very small sizes.
So this is going to be basically a bloodbath inside that business for Xilinx.
I was wondering why they would bounce.
Yeah, if in fact, exactly. Because what happens, folks, is that you don't want to. Well, here, let me give you an idea. This is going to be crazy. ALTR, just revenue-wise, I'll give you an idea of revenue, what we're talking about here. So the revenue on Altera is $2 billion a year. Xilinx XLNX. We took a look at Xilinx. Xilinx is running at 2.4 billion. Okay, and Intel, this is going to be sick. Looking at this, like this is going to be like a cough drop to them, man. Intel is 55 billion.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's not a big deal for Intel.
It's 5. It's not even. It's 3% of their gross.
Right. But
it's a business they could grow, huh?
It's not only they can grow, but basically they can make so much better than Xilinx that it almost gives them a monopoly in that part. Now, these are incredibly kind of simple devices for the most part.
Yeah.
But because they can be so big, are become incredibly complex. I told you it's kind of the equivalent of building a house out of atoms,
right?
Which is really what these things do. So there's a lot of software that these companies write so programmers can make these things, because if you actually tried to go down and make one by hand, you'd be 100 years from now before you ever did it. The only way to design and use these products now is a computer telling what these gates and logics to do. But everything on these programmable chips are programmable. So you've got all the...
You know what's so cool? This is really cool, folks, and I hope other people got it. Well, maybe most of you already knew it. I never realized that a programmable chip is specifically that, a programmable chip. I got it because you're saying every gate is a yes or no. So a programmer takes a chip, that's the programmable chip, puts it in, yes, no, yes, no. That's pretty cool, man.
But let's think about it like a normal computer where you plug your audio in for maybe your microphone on a computer.
Okay.
Well, with just a program, you could change that out to an in.
Yes.
All the inputs and outputs of that chip can either be inputs or outputs. So you basically...
And that's what programming is, right?
Well, that is. But that's normally when you get silicon, you either have an input or it's an output on that metal pin that you connect to, right?
Okay.
These you can change on the fly. If you need more inputs or more outputs later on, you just tell the chip to be that, and that's what it is. So that they are a blank canvas that you can do literally anything from, from making them a processor to making this total 100%.
What's normally like a chip like that cost?
It depends, but at the high end, maybe $200.
Okay.
At the low end, you can buy them for $1.
And that's how many they sell in that business. It's a $2 billion business anyway.
Right.
Man, there's a lot of programmers, evidently.
It's really a big business like I was in, where you have maybe something that you sell 10 or 20,000 of a year.
Okay, I got it.
And it doesn't make sense to go out and put it into dedicated chips.
Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. And whatever you want in life, folks, visualize it like a nice big motion picture. Step into it, take ownership, and fly with it. Thanks for being here. Have a great weekend, safe weekend. Thanks, Dave. Look forward to speaking to you Monday. Bow! That was good.